those are the only two parts of the song. I'm going to be singing one. Rabbi Weiss is going to be singing the other. Pick whichever one you'd like. Sing with us. If there are two of you, try it in the round in your own home. Here we go. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. It is so wonderful to see everyone tonight. Normally on this Shabbat Shuvah, this Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I would be talking about how much more relaxed it is with fewer people in the sanctuary. We do have a fewer people in the sanctuary. We don't have our video team of 4 tonight. We have a video team of 2. It's Mark and Jan who are with us tonight. Thank you, Mark and Jan. And I wish I could tell you Cantor Canizaro was home resting, but I'm pretty sure she's home working on the final videos for Yom Kippur, although I wouldn't be surprised if she were with us tonight at home as well. So it is a little bit more relaxed. I hope you all are feeling a little bit relaxed on this, the second Shabbat of our new year, 5781. So we'll take another breath. And we'll continue. And we will bring in Shabbat, continue to bring in Shabbat with that poem that the Kabbalists would sing to bring in Shabbat, Lecha Dodi. Yalla la la la, Lecha Dodi. Yalla la la la, Likrat Shabbat. Yalla la la la, B'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat Yikaber. Yalla la la la, Lecha Dodi. Yalla la la la, Likrat Shabbat. Yalla la la la, B'nei Shabbat. Yalla la la la, Likrat Shabbat. Yalla la la la, B'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat Yikaber.
We now ask everyone to get your Shabbat candles ready to go. We have ours here already, but set them up in your home. Let all of our lights shine together. And we will sing our blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai banu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. And now hopefully you have a Kiddush cup filled with something sweet, some way to sanctify Shabbat in each of your homes as we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. We read together. I honor the gift of stillness and rest, a day devoted to peace, peace within my soul. On this day I have everything I need, peace with those around me. On the day I seek no quarrel or strife, peace of earth and sky, green trees and quiet water. I give thanks that I am present in this world. I celebrate the miracle of existence, the breath within me, the beating of my heart, the love that blesses my life. And we rise together for Baruch, our call to worship.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between, and And so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And now you may be seated as we continue chanting together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eret Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
So on this Shabbat Shuvah, this Shabbat of return, the Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, there are pieces of the High Holy Day liturgy that come into our Shabbat service, and there are also melodies of our High Holy Days that come into our Shabbat. So we'll sing Michamocha with the High Holy Day Nusach, the High Holy Day melody. Michamocha b'elim Adonai, kamocha nedar bakodesh Nora tehilot oseh peleh Adonai lo leolam vaed Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai lo leolam vaed V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. As we come into the twilight of evening, we sing a song asking God to keep us safe when the dark and mysteries of the unknown leave things uncertain. But we know that God will always protect us. We sing Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom Ve'ha'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wing, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, until we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom Ve'ha'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Now we rise, if you're able and comfortable, as we continue together with the Amidah, again adding those High Holy Day additions, so be ready. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Zochreinu Lechaim, Melech Hafet B'chaim, V'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atara ve'hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua. Micha mochav harachamim, Zocher yetzurav, L'chaim berachamim, L'chaim berachamim. V'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh.
We are seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Thinking of what peace means to us on this Shabbat, what wholeness means to us on this Shabbat, the kind of peace we pray for going into this new year. We offer our prayer together now. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
B'sefer Chaim bracha v'shalom u'farnasa tova nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha anachnu v'chol amcha beit Yisrael l'chaim tovim u'l'shalom. We read together. May we and all your people, the household of Israel, be remembered and inscribed for a good life and well-being in the book of life, blessing, well-being, and prosperity. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, maker of peace. And we come now to Misha Berach Lecholim, our prayer for those in need of healing. And we're particularly aware of those people who cannot be with us because they lie on beds of pain as we celebrate these holidays of both joy and solemnity. And we shared those feelings with lots of people we might not be able to share it with this year. So I hope that in your homes, in your little sanctuary in your home, take a moment to say the names aloud of those people whom you wish healing upon, healing from God, from our community. Let their names echo in the room. And we sing our prayer for healing together. Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Take a moment now for silent prayer as we appreciate perhaps the first quiet and still moment that we've had all week.
Shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom dimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
I'd like to share a story tonight because we are, after all, a people of storytellers. This is a story of Rebbe Nachman of Bratslav, who was the great-grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism. It has grown some, as legends will do, since the days of Rebbe Nachman, but the message is his as I share it with you this evening. If Rebbe Nachman himself were here to tell this tale, he would do so in the woods before a blazing fire, surrounded by his joyful followers. This evening, you will have to settle for this poor storyteller, confined within these walls and projected through these electronic tones and through your screen. But the fire blazes still within these words, so let us begin. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a land far across the sea, there was a tiny Jewish village nestled in the mountains, set apart from the world outside. These Jews lived and died. They celebrated together the joys of their lives, mourned together their sadnesses. They worked together, prayed together, lived together for generations without very much contact with the world beyond them. They received word from travelers from time to time of the great events of the age, but they viewed such news with little interest, since it had no great impact on their lives. Until one day, dire news was received of a plague which had been spreading throughout the land. The plague was like none other they had seen. It swept through a city with complete abandon, and none could escape its grasp. The symptoms were not deadly, but they were tragic nonetheless. This was a plague of forgetfulness. There was a great concern throughout the village on how to address this looming threat. The loss of one's memory seemed at first of limited concern. No one would die. The illness apparently caused no pain, but the more they considered the prospect of living without their memories, of all they had shared, all those they had loved, the meaning of their lives, in fact, seemed in danger of being lost and forgotten. We shall write it all down, they declared, so that our history, our lives, our heritage shall not be forgotten. And they did. But then it occurred to them that they might forget even where they stored the book. Will we be able to read? Will we even care to learn if none of this has any meaning in our minds? Why would we wish to remember our past if it has no connection to our hearts and our lives? Finally, it was decided. Each member of the community would inscribe a single word upon their forehead, so that the first thing anyone would see upon encountering another was this clear reminder of the world they had once known. And the word they all chose was the word that was carved on the doorway of their synagogue, Adonai, the four-lettered name of God, which adorns every portion in the Torah. That we will soon forget the past is unavoidable. It is inevitable. How that will affect our present and future is unknown. These letters of God's name, which according to the Torah connect us all to the eternal source of life, will remind us that there once was something that was enduring and had meaning. Let these letters, expressing the holiness of all life, anchor our present and future to the abiding nature of our lives. Let God's eternal love transcend our momentary lapse of memory. For if we can remember God's name, if we can remember that this is a name we all share, if we can remember enough to want to remember even more, then we will see the same single word upon the doorway of the synagogue, and then perhaps our memories will survive even this terrible destruction. Well, the plague did come to this tiny Jewish town, and like it had in every other village, it left all of them without their memories. But unlike the places who had been unprepared for its destructive force, these Jews awakened to see upon each other's faces these same 4 letters of the name of God. Their wonder at what this single word might mean led them to the doorway of their synagogue, and through that doorway to the small but precious library of books which lay within. From this single word of Torah, they began to study anew God's path for their lives. And from the Torah, they learned to love each other and to revere their past. Soon, they were studying all the books they could find to understand who they were and how they had come to this place. And eventually, they found the book of their lives, which they had prepared as an antidote for their forgetfulness. And they remembered again their past and those who had brought them to that day. The plague had come and gone, but their lives continued on because they had found again their memories, and the plague of forgetfulness was soon forgotten. The lesson of this legend is in the power of remembrance. Our lives are lived in the empty spaces between the letters of God's eternal name. When we remember the God who lives among us, we remember that there is an eternal presence who has known us since before we and our people once began. And then there is memory, and then there is history, and then there is certainty that our lives too can have meaning. Shabbat Shalom. And now we'll see if we can remember all of the announcements.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Rabbi Weiss. I think the biggest announcement is that Yom Kippur is Sunday night, but we do have a few things before then. Rabbi will be leading Torah study tomorrow morning at 9:15. Yes?
Yeah, it's Ha'azinu. We are right at the end.
Wonderful. I hope everyone will join. And then on Sunday morning is our cemetery service. We are allowing limited numbers to come be present at those services. Everyone will be masked and distanced. There are services at Woodlawn and Myrtle Hill, and I believe you can still RSVP online if you want to be there. But both of those services will be on Zoom as well. So all of that information is in the email that was sent to you. You'll be receiving another pre-Yom Kippur email on Saturday night, so keep an eye out for that. Also included in that email will be all of the discussion topics for Sunday. Rabbi Bernholtz, Rabbi Weiss, and I will be teaching 3 different perspectives on the book of Jonah. And then our Shazifti youth group leading our afternoon service will be providing a 4th perspective on the book of Jonah. And that youth afternoon service at 3:30, I really, really hope everyone will participate. It will be on Zoom, but our high school kids are going to be leading discussions, and it should really, really be special. Then at 4:45, we'll be back to our live stream or public access for Yisker and Ne'ilah. And then we are rolling next Friday, October 2nd, after the wonderful challah in the home that we shared. We are repeating our challah in the home. This time it is Erev Sukkot, so it's our virtual sukkah. We are going to be gathering in one giant Zoom sukkah, all having dinner together. Same as last time, there will be opportunities for us to break into smaller groups for dinner. You can request friends you want to eat with, or we'll put you with people we think you might enjoy. Again, all over Zoom. We have the ability to create small rooms in Zoom. You don't have to do a thing. And if you really don't want to do a thing, again, Lynn Mollett is offering a Shabbat dinner that you can order that will be delivered to your home. And that way we can all be eating the same thing as well. Looking a little bit further ahead, on Friday, October 16th, author A.J. Jacobs is going to be speaking at our Friday night service. He's the author of Year of Living Biblically and of Gratitude. In Year of Living Biblically, he lives according to biblical law for a year. And in gratitude, he follows his cup of coffee all the way from Starbucks to the coffee bean farms in which they were grown. So he is fascinating, and we are so excited to hear from him and learn from him. That's on October 16th. And like I said, we are rolling, so keep an eye on your e-news each week to see all the wonderful ways to be involved here at Schaarai Zedek. How was that?
I don't think you forgot anything.
I mean, I forgot a lot because I could go on all night.
I imagine there won't be coffee and kavanagh this Monday.
There is no coffee and kavanagh this Monday. It is Yom Kippur, but we'll be back on Thursday morning.
Good. All right.
And now we rise, if you're able, as we continue with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We are seated. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of life and light. As we come to the mourner's Kaddish, we think of those people who have died, who are no longer with us, who leave an empty seat beside us when we celebrate these holidays. But we know that their names are etched on the doorpost of our houses, into our foreheads at our synagogue, that we can never forget them so long as we are there. I'd like us to just take a brief moment to think of those people who we've lost in their moments of health, strength, and kindness. This time we also share the names that our community is remembering. We think of those who have recently died: Ina Ray Levy, Riven Kratz, Suzanne Schlafer, Bill Safran, Mark Shainwald, and Ruthie Levy. We also think of those whose deaths have occurred at this time in years past. We remember the yahrzeits of Morris Bellman, Barry Allen Cohen, Andre Kohler, Pearl Colin, Martin Eller, Lucille Kotler Falk, Pamela Feinhandler, Mona Felder, Frederick Friedman, Minette Shane Green, Mark Kaplan, Gus Kaufman, Jewel Kleinmetz, Fanny Kriegel, Ben Lasky, Abe M. Levy, Molly S. Malbin, David H. Manis, Rose Meiselas, Leon Parter, Bernard Paul, Isidore Resnick, Carl Richter, Morris J. Root, Sidney Rose, Sally Case Rosenfeld, Joseph M. Rubin, Walter S. Sanders, Edna Schonwetter, Marvin Schwartz, Irma Schwartz, Robert T. Seiden, Maurice B. Simonhoff, Joseph J. Singer, Simon Smith, Samuel Taub, Aaron Tettenbaum, Gloria Titan, Edward M. Waller, Grace Winograd, Marilyn Winters, Joseph L. Wolfe, and Rabbi David L. Zelenka. To those.
And we join with Americans everywhere in saying Kaddish this evening for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And to all those names, those said and unsaid, we add the names of your loved ones as we rise as a community for Mourners Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divarach chirutech v'amlich malchutech, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemech dekudesha, brichu. Le'ela minkol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say together, Amen. So we now come to our closing song, this certainly in line with the themes of the season. Right?
Now, before our closing song, the one thing I forgot to mention in our announcements is that immediately following the service, we will open up our Zoom Oneg Shabbat. You have to bring the goodies, but it is a chance to at least see some other faces and visit a little bit. We've had a really, really nice group each week. If you've never come over and you want to try it out tonight, this is a wonderful, wonderful evening to try out joining us on Zoom for our Zoom Oneg Shabbat. We would love to see everyone there. Mm-hmm. And were you going to explain our closing song? I'm sorry.
I don't know how much there is to explain.
So this is Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat of return. So we sing the words, Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva chadesh yamenu kekedem. Return us to you, Adonai. Just as in that beautiful story, the village returned to their synagogue, returned to their knowledge. We ask that we too return to a time of knowing what's right and working towards what's right, as we renew our days as of old. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha.
Shabbat Shalom.